Yeah.
Welcome everyone, we are the Grin Brothers, and was that part 23?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Curie. I was about to say, what on earth
confused.
is the mysterious stranger doing here?
We're over encumbered already.
Yeah, we start off that way. We said we were gonna, sort that out first.
Well, a bit late for
Yeah!
What's over encumbering me anyway? Is it junk?
It is, Raphael, it is more than definitely junk.
I don't have that much junk, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's over encumbering me. Wait, no, I know what it is. It's the Nuka meat.
Well, you have a lot of Nuka meat.
I do.
Maybe drop some of it off?
Well, I hope you're ready for a fun adventure in Nuka-World.
Well, might as well start off with probably our biggest, most ongoing topic first. And I want to start in the most appropriate way possible. You know, it's really easy to tell when a black person, a black comedian, has made a video.
Okay, where is this going?
Because I watched this video called When You Get Kingdom Hearts Free on the Xbox. And one of the first lines, and it's like, there's sort of, he's playing through and he's like not understanding any of these terms, and he's like, and then the characters start talking to him, and it's like, gosh, is that an A button? And then it sort of just goes, I'm tired of these broken ass, only be able to afford an Xbox. And it's like, and of course it pans to the guy, and it's a black comedian, and his black friend walks in, it's like, you can immediately tell, whenever they use the N-word, it's immediately a black person who's made the video.
Oh yeah, because white people...
And they use it so casually.
White people tend to get ostracised for using it.
Which,
like us.
Which is the weird thing. As commented before, just before recording, about how it's how you say a word, context of a word, if anything.
Yeah.
You can't really own a word. Like, if Shakespeare came back to life, he's not going to suddenly copyright everyone who's used all of his words in the English language.
I mean, I don't know. There are some people that are pretty crazy enough to try and own a word.
And, oh gosh, well,
Disney would.
To be fair, there was the guy who did try to own the word edge, and then he picked on EA.
Yeah, he did.
You can't call it Mirror's Edge. I own the word edge for video games. EA. About that!
I know we ain't the greatest people around, but we're still EA?
And that's a pretty douchey move even by our standards.
Can you imagine trying to pick a fight with EA nowadays? It's like, you're not fighting EA, you're fighting Disney.
Apparently EA have blamed the lackluster sales of Battlefield 5 on single-player games?
You mean the fact that people still want single-player games?
I think that was on in the headline. I think their thing is that single-player games have suddenly started to do a lot better in sales recently.
Yeah, they have.
And Battlefield 5 didn't do as well as a result.
I mean,
other people are trying to say that other people are saying that it's more the way EA marketed the game.
The thing is,
EA tried to market themselves on historical accuracy of Battlefield 5. Whilst their most prominent character for their story campaign was apparently a frontline woman soldier with a prosthetic arm in World War I/II? Which, there are plenty of stories about women in the sort of world wars. Not many of them frontline. Well, there's a few of the smaller countries. A lot of the sort of countries near Russia, which were in the sort of like in the, Russia was trying to take them over or occupying them at the time. So had a lot of females on the front line. But a prosthetic arm in World War I and II.
Sorry, yeah, that's where I'm gonna jump in.
Where the line gets drawn.
I've done medical history. World War II, potentially, if the only gun you want to use is a pistol.
But this is more of a prosthetic arm in terms of, I can be a super spy with it sort of thing. As in it being able to withstand the same weight sort of thing.
Your prosthetic arm was a piece of wood. In World War I, you got a piece of wood. In fact, you were lucky if you got a prosthetic arm, because you probably wouldn't. You were lucky to replace the leg. It took a long time for them to develop something that actually resembled a functioning limb.
Yeah.
And it still... You weren't moving your fingers with a prosthetic arm in World War II.
Absolutely not.
It was just, kind of there,
Like, there was a lot of...
How much of our arm was missing? Was it, like, elbow up?
Yeah, I think it was from the elbow.
Cool, so it'd have been a glorified stick. But
But
I'm all down for
then,
having, like, a, you know...
I think if you weren't trying to sell it on historical accuracy, you could do an interesting story like that.
Yeah, it's Bionic Commander.
Like, if I was teased, like, when I heard about the idea for Battlefield 5, you know, them sort of saying, we're going to cover real historical stories, I'm fairly sure this woman was completely made up, because I don't think there was any frontline woman with a prosthetic arm.
Nah, Bionic Commander... I was about to say Bionic Commander's wife was definitely
You remember World
real.
War III when Hitler's head was revived to have an army of Nazis, and we had to use a guy with a bionic arm to stop him?
Bionic Commander's wife is not a person, it's a arm, so... Yeah, don't think that would have been a good war effort. Throw an arm out.
But yeah, like, when I first heard about the story, apparently their idea was it was going to cover actual historical sort of events. But I thought the idea was they're going to cover, like, lots of historical events. Because there's a lot of really interesting World War 1/2 sort of storylines.
Out, we spent 6 minutes literally just walking.
You know, Mad Jack, for instance. I'm still amazed no one's made a game about Mad Jack.
Or just Scottish in general.
There was a movie recently about the that Christian who refused to carry a gun in World War, I think it was 1 or 2, not sure which one. But he ended up saving hundreds of lives, of Forrest Gump style, just pick him up and carrying him out of the
Forrest Gump
out of the danger zones.
I would have liked it much more if he just ran up and started suplexing people.
And he was a pacifist.
Yeah, that's not violence.
And
it's like Clay, where he refused to hit the goal.
Like in terms of women in World War One, on World War Two, on our side sort of thing, you know, on the Ally side sort of thing. There was, you know, a lot of the frontline nurses. There was actually a term, "something angels" for them, because they would have to actually go into gunfire to start applying the medical treatment to some of them.
And it's also, I believe they also had that name because a lot of soldiers, because they were near death, would think they were actual angels, which is quite a common occurrence.
In fact, that's actually a really interesting premise. I'm disappointed no one's explored. A game where you are the healer.
So,
and I think
it's interesting you say that. You can actually be that in Battlefield 5.
Really?
Yeah, the Battlefield actually has it really good.
Oh yeah, the multiplayer's still good.
Multiplayer
I mean, heck,
system.
EA trashed Call of Duty when they did that Zeppelin thing. I think it was Battlefield 4, where the Zeppelin crashing. Now that was fantastic seeing that on the EA conference.
So most shooter games have like deathmatch as their primary thing.
My teeth still smells of berries from last week.
It'll be deathmatch and objectives. You have objectives in Battlefield, but one of the main game modes is points. But it's based on...
Oh, a freaky door there. Sykes, I'm impressed that in your last efforts you still managed to, of life, you still managed to open a door.
Oh, it's the gauntlet.
Oh. You took the long way back from the sounds of it. Sorry, not from the sounds of it, the looks of it.
It's the tram sister.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can take the elevator. Forgot about that. Wow. It doesn't matter. We've spent... this first episode will literally just be us walking to a place to drop. I mean, I know there's a place in Nuka-World where I can do it, but I don't want to put the stuff in Nuka-World because I don't trust them.
For whatever reason, ultimately, though, Battlefield 5 did not do as well as the previous Battlefield games, which is a shame because they were running on a high with that. I mean, outside the Star Wars.
Okay, so it probably didn't help that they censored the word paid DLC. And white man, apparently, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
That probably didn't
they had
help
an even
them.
better chance of succeeding this time. They have a single-player campaign. Call of Duty apparently tries to make themselves into Overwatch. Apparently, I've heard good things about
Call of Duty's made themselves into Fortnite.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a really good game.
Yeah, I've heard it's actually a really good one, and they've got lots of cool mechanics to it. But the lack of single-player turned off a huge amount of people.
Yeah, it did. I know because I was trying to have to sell it, and it'd be like, I heard it doesn't have single player. Is that true? Yep, no single player. Oh, I'm not going to buy it.
To be fair, from what I've heard, they've generally not been... Again, the problem is, none of the Call of Duties have still been as good as apparently as Call of Duty... was it Call of Duty 4 Black Ops? Or was it Call of Duty 4? It was one of the ones with 4s in it.
Yeah, Call of Duty 4 Black Ops, and... The most popular one seems to be the Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and Modern Warfare.
Oh yeah, Modern Warfare. Yeah, it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2 or something like that.
Yeah, Modern Warfare is really popular.
Yeah, I think like one of them actually had a really good single player campaign. Like,
it's not as good as Modern Warfare.
I think it was the one with the starting scene where you're in Russia and you're like a double agent.
I've played a bit of that one.
Shooting occurs and it's like a guy trying to set up a war between Russia and America.
Oh, Call of Duty's not been good since Modern Warfare. I heard that so much. Oh, I wish the Call of Duty games were as good as Modern Warfare.
I mean,
buddy,
whilst it kills, that could be a WoW vanilla situation. It doesn't help that the game has been a yearly sort of franchise sort of thing.
Yeah.
You don't notice the improvements as much if it's every year. Like, again, you can probably notice a lot of cool improvements made with like a lot of the, say, EA Sports games. If you bought the first one of that generation, say the Xbox 360 came out and you bought Call of Duty and you bought the new FIFA game on that. And then you waited until the very last one released to the 360 sort of thing.
So what I was going to say,
notice all the differences.
Was Battlefield has like a class system, where you can be a medic.
Yeah.
Where you have defibrillators and you can run around healing people, and stuff like that. You've got the support, which goes around giving ammo out to people and stuff. Mm-hmm. Snipers who camp and snipe people, and then you get shouted at for camping when you're a sniper. And then shoot people class, where you shoot people.
Raphael, you're getting further away from your destination.
No, I'm not. That's the quest marker. That's to go back to Nuka-World. If I can go back to Nuka-World if you want me to. Are
we actually going to just make this entirely of us walking, or are we going to interrupt it at some point? Because we couldn't interrupt it immediately, because that would have literally been 30 seconds.
I mean, I'm having fun.
Playing as Arlo says, you shouldn't call it a walking simulator, a exploration.
It has become an exploration sim. At this point.
AKA walking simulator.
You never know, Liam. Something might pop up. I might have to press another button soon.
I don't understand people who like to enjoy those sort of games. Well, to be fair, there's a lot of games I'm not... Well, like, I can understand why certain people enjoy lots of different types of games. Like, I'm not a fan of first-person games, but I can understand why people enjoy those sort of things.
Sometimes the walking games have nice plot. But at that point, it's just a visual novel.
But it's like Layers of Fear, for instance. That was so gosh darn boring to watch the Scary Game Squad play through it. Because nothing was happening.
And that's bad, because that game did actually have some stuff happen.
There's a story that's unfolding, but what's the point... particularly, what's the point of a exploration game when all the story is subtext and it's based off what you can find and figure out yourself?
Well, that's why it's an exploration sim.
But at that point, you're not getting anything out of it.
Well, not if you.
It feels like work at that point.
Well, yeah, you have to walk to get what you want. In a fighting game, you fight for the plot. You don't walk.
But it's more interesting than just pressing forwards.
No, you got to press across occasionally. Yeah, no, they're pretty boring.
Like I wasn't a huge fan of the Outlast games because it does feel like you're just hiding as your mechanic. I can understand some charm to it.
It's horror. Yeah, there's like a bit of adrenaline there.
To be fair, Resident Evil 5 and 6 are also horror games.
6 is not a horror game.
He's riding the lava!
Yeah, it's not a horror game. We're getting there.
Unlike Resident Evil 2, the perfect horror game. Are you ready, Angel of Death? It's on its way!
Yeah, tofu. True nightmare is eating vegan food.
That is true.
For you, yeah. Being healthy. We're almost there.
To be fair, unless the scales were broken, which I'm actually more likely to judge because yesterday I had, and don't tell Mum this, I had a calzone from Direct Pizza for lunch because I was out in the flipping rain.
Yeah.
Everyone else left.
See, look,
Yeah, okay.
we're in 100 yards.
Yeah.
Honest, it's only taken 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yesterday I had a calzone and chips.
Do you honestly expect me to remember?
And I also had chicken and chips for dinner last night because you hadn't done the washing up, so Mum just said, and just all got food.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Apparently I'm 12.5 stone now.
Oh wow.
So, which I'm sure the scales must be broken. Because I was stuck at 13 stone for ages, and I'm not sure after eating all that I should be weighing 12.5 stone.
Yeah.
I also don't look like I'm 12.5 stone.
Well, to lose like belly fat, there are like specific exercises you can do.
Well, I mean, I don't quite much mind the belly fat. I mean, the fact that I could probably wear a bra and have it supported.
You are the anime girl.
But no, like, it's not a case that I mind how tubby I am. I feel better being this sort of size than...
You'd rather be that than skinny.
Yeah, because seeing people's spines is weird.
Yeah.
I don't feel as comfortable being bony. But...
I know I can't run game, that's why I'm
At the same
here.
time, I don't, like, and I'm still fit enough to still walk and do regular activities sort of thing. Like, obviously, at that point, I would sort of, you know, I don't want to be at the point where I can't do that sort of stuff. You know, that's obviously when you're too fat.
Well, why do we just have a corpse in here?
My dieting, I guess the settler, I guess you didn't defend this place well enough.
Oops.
That just sounds like a line out of a pitch meeting. Oopsie!
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, purely my diet is so that I don't have to spend more money on clothes.
Yeah.
Because so I can just stitch them up a little bit and then they're fixed. Or, you know, because I've lost weight, I can, I don't know, cut off bits of the leg, patch them up.
That's not how it works. But yeah,
Like,
I'm going to say this before I forget. My point about, that's just a rat leg.
Okay.
Yeah, so Battlefield, you've got each of the different classes, but like a thing that, I mean, they've done it for a while, I believe. If you're a healer, you don't get points by killing. You can get points by killing people. You don't get as many points by killing people. You get your points by healing your teammates.
Oh wow, they should introduce that into other games.
And
you know, with healers, where people are constantly begging for healing.
And when you revive people, it gets points towards the final mark. If you're a support, you get points by supporting.
I kind of feel like there's lots
People
of games
get points by doing their job instead of just rushing and killing people.
Why does Battlefield have a better esports setup there than most esports?
Because everyone's an idiot.
That's worrying. The EA
is
thought of
smart.
the better way to handle a community.
Yeah.
And they censored out paid DLC as a word!
And do you know what the issue is?
Well,
It still doesn't work.
no.
People will still pick a healer and try and kill people. One of my mates was talking about how one of his mates had picked the support class,
Yeah.
the healer class, wasn't reviving anyone. And they're like, why aren't you reviving us? Why are you killing people? Like, oh, I never get to be anything else, so I'm just gonna kill people. It's like, if you didn't want to be healer, you could have just asked.
Hello?
Hi.
Excuse me, gentle ma'am. Are you happy? Truly happy?
Is this part of where we are? Your name is cleansed?
How
do we know that?
Why do you call yourself cleansed?
I have been
I
cleansed.
didn't. Do I have a name on my head?
I named myself cleansed. But you haven't answered my question. Are you truly happy?
Let's see here. Well,
I suffer crippling depression.
no, we're asking Ferret here, who has generally just saved the whole of the Commonwealth and everything. I mean, she had to murder her son, but I think she's
Fairly
very happy.
I think I'm fairly happy.
Then you are not truly and completely happy. I can show you the path to true happiness. The path to enlightenment through hubology. It will relieve you of your burdens. help you find the true happiness.
So is this part of the gangster place, or?
Yep, this is part of Nuka-World. These guys are actually great.
Your mind, giving you great mental powers.
Okay, what is herbology? This isn't drugs, is it?
No.
Herbology is the science of unlocking the full.
They're basically a cult, but dead chill.
Okay.
It brings true happiness and peace to
Well, we'll see.
Rap 2019. They're a cult, but they're chill.
She's an AHS 9. Come with me and she can answer all your questions.
Might as well. Or the AHS 9, what's that?
AHS 9. Is that some sort of code?
That is her rank in the Great Wheel of
Wait,
Herbology.
Curie
I
disliked
don't know
it.
why Curie disliked that.
She sits at the hub of the Great Wheel. You can ask her all these questions yourself. Follow me.
Might as well.
Well, guess we're doing this quest line.
I'm not sure why Curie disliked.
I don't know why Curie disliked that either.
You might want to check that on the break.
Yeah, sure.
So we're doing this mission now.
Well, we might as well follow him.
Yeah, otherwise he'll
Make
just...
sure he doesn't die.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Turn that light on so I can see. So, you thought the walking was over!
We'll end the episode once the walking ends, but...
Mate, we're 21 minutes in.
And then we can...
I don't know how far we're going to walk.
Oh, that is true. Then we'll probably end the episode here, and then we can talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. I set up that joke, and we never got around to talking about it.
We set up the joke and the punchline never arrived.
Yeah, the Xbox video was pretty funny, though. It just... Because it's finally... It took me that long to finally find someone who brought up the case of, oh, how do you get into Kingdom Hearts? Well, you buy these collections, but what if you only own an Xbox One? And it's just such a funny video
You watched
presenting
it. Like 30 minutes of videos they give you that skips out the entire Kingdom Hearts 2. And then you go, what? And then you look it up on YouTube.
I mean, they'd be ending the Kingdom Hearts 2.
Sure!
Yeah, which
Just
was
miscap
actually
in-
more of a recap for Dream Drop Distance than it was Kingdom Hearts 2.
Does that mean they don't explain who Roxas is?
No, because they cover 358/2 days.
Okay, cool.
They go,
Organised-
they go first cover Kingdom Hearts 1, then Chain of Memories, then 358/2 days, before Kingdom Hearts 2, obviously.
Because let's be honest, no one's played that.
Then they cover Birth by Sleep. No, then they cover Riku. And then they cover Birth by Sleep. And that's it.
I feel like Birth by Sleep should have probably been first.
Oh wait, no, I think they also covered a tiny bit of Dream Drop Distance, like the last part of it. I think they did at least. But no, they miss out Kingdom Hearts 2 aside from Riku fought Zenmus there. They don't explain how Riku stopped being Ansem and came back to being himself. They said, and so Riku fought Roxas, and then he turned to Ansem, and then he defeated Zemlus, and he's clearly not Ansem at that point.
Cool. But,
Yeah. Cheerio for now!
bye.